Hey there, I am Pops, and I am going to talk to you about one of the greatest. I've been doing X-Men animated series, and I'm going to do Batman animated series, 1992. Uh, oh, what a good year for this! It's hard to think about. It's been 30 years already, and I've been enjoying going back and enjoying the X-Men. But then, as I watched the first two episodes of Batman, the animation and the music and capturing the feel and a continuation of, the 1989 movie, and then, Batman Returns, and just the feel of everything. Oh, I was taken back right there. And then it kicks off with Catwoman, of course. So it was like, oh, I didn't remember that. So it was so good. And so the first episodes are The Cat and the Claw. And you get your first look. And there's no like weird build-ups or backstories and origins or retellings. No, we just jump in. He's Batman. He's just Batman, right? And you have Catwoman using her cat to, break in and steal this necklace. And you get introduced to a shootout with this gang. And Gordon is catching everybody up on the fact it's Red Claw. And you have Bruce, who does this like Make-A-Wish date, and Selina bids like 10 grand to win because she's into, preservation and mountain lions and that kind of thing. So I really tell you what, things move so fast in this show. This happens. And you start to look at the clock. First, you only have like 22 minutes to work with anyway, but they accomplish so much. This is so well written and so tight. It moves so fast. There's this, so it goes from this to Red Claw, him shaking down a mobster, to Catwoman visiting the corporation, Red Claw's meeting with the thugs, explaining her real plan to release this plague, Catwoman figuring out how to get in. It's moving. And of course, you have this great chemistry right out of the gate of Catwoman and Batman, with Batman, of course, swings in and saves her at one point. She kisses him, and it's so good. And then when you get to the second one, and you have sort of like more information that's kind of coming back with the Red Claw and this big terrorist attack, basically, that's been out there, and they're going to escape because she's going to threaten to drop it. And Gordon is just yelling at this military guy, and so we will learn. I didn't remember off the top of my head. I guess I could have trivia question. I would have lost that. There's a comment Gordon makes about evacuating 10 million people. So I guess Gotham City has 10 million people, folks. There you go. So anyway, Bruce calls Gordon on the way to see Selina using his Batman voice. I thought that was so good. It's these little nuances that are so good. And they have a fun little date and the car crash and all that before you get to the big climactic scene where they have to come up with a way of getting rid of the plague, getting her out. And then, of course, Batman finds a way to burn it all and get rid of it all and stuff like that. But when I watch the car and it's racing by, the music's pulsating, these characters and how they're so well drawn and they're so unique with their personalities. And I started to think about how much of the Batman lore manifested because of the shows. And it was not because the show adapted a very specific comic book, even though there are certain comic books that are influential in all of these, both X-Men and Batman. But really with Batman, because I was so immersed in the Batman lore during this time, because I obviously the 1980 movie made me a comic book reader, basically. And Legends of the Dark Knight and the regular Batman and the regular Detective, and then, of course, Shadows of the Bat came on. Those were my four main titles. But you have so many spinoffs and things that happen. Batman was cameo, and I remember there were great stories. And when I watched this show and I see their chemistry, I kept thinking about certain comics I haven't read in a while. Started thinking about the Catwoman miniseries I hadn't read in a while. Started thinking about, this. I was like, oh, man, this is going to be so much fun. So if you have not revisited this show, and you need something good to watch, I'm telling you, it not only holds up, you appreciate it so much more now because of how well It's written and executed, drawn, the music. I don't know what's flawed in the Batman animated series thus far. I will leave the X-Men stuff. I'm trying to separate the experience between the two to be as fair as I can to both. And let me tell you what, I can't wait to get on to another episode, share that with you, give you my thoughts and reactions as we go through. I think Man-Bat's next, and then Mr. Freeze. I think it's just they could keep rolling through this is what makes the comic book so much fun too, guys, is you roll through different villains and things like that. That's why this whole 6-issue story arcs and things being drawn it out and they're being padded, it just stinks. It takes away from why we loved it so much. So give me your thoughts. Are you willing or interested in revisiting it like I have? Have you watched it recently and you're just like, tell me what you think? Oh, it's so good. Can't recommend it enough. Enjoy. Tell me what you think. I'm back. I'm Pops.